Hey, Farmer Scott, what you doing?
Hey, I'm digging a hole right now, but we're about to plant figs.
So where are we standing?
Well, this used to be where we planted our vegetables last year, but we're turning it into, this lower part, we're turning it into an orchard because I love fruit. If I could eat fruit the rest of my life, well, I mean, I can, but if that's all I could eat, I would love it.
You said, well, I can.
Yeah.
Like,
So
who's stopping you?
we're planting figs right
What kind
now.
do we have?
Well, this is what is this? Olympian fig, which I don't know anything about it, but it says it's best flavor, which I'm very excited about.
I think it's also the hardiest one for our zone. We're like 7B, 8A, somewhere in that sweet spot.
Is that right?
Yeah, but we've got a few different kinds.
Yeah, let me show you what else we got.
We want to fill in all the gaps of flavor and hardiness. So
we got 3 of the Olympians. They were the cheapest, so that's why I got a bunch of those. But these guys are brown turkey figs, which I've had these before, and they are excellent. But look how big they get.
Man,
10 feet tall and 15 feet wide.
that's a big canopy.
That's massive. So I'm really excited about these.
And we've got 2 of those.
Yep, 2 of those. And
All
then
right.
this one we bought last year.
And it came back.
Yeah, we
What
thought
a good little
We thought
figgy.
it was dead, but this is a Celeste fig.
Nice.
And then, it gets 10 feet, which is
That's a good
also
one.
big.
I really was afraid of it coming back. It was just low. It was a late start. I also broke off a few of the branches to see if it was green. That was my bad.
It'll come back though, at least I think. All right, so let's go ahead and plant.
Sure.
So we're gonna put the smaller ones on the top row, all the way across.
Hold on. Tell them how many you're planning on having.
I think 16 in this area. I love figs. I'm telling you, I love them. So we figured 16 will fit. They need about 10 to 12 foot between them. So we're gonna put a row on the top here and then a row on the bottom. And we're gonna put the smaller ones. These only get 8 feet, 4 to 8 feet. We'll put these on the top, and we'll put these big guys on the bottom, so you can kind of stagger them a little bit.
Okay, but what other fruit are we gonna have here in this sloped portion?
Well, outside of figs, I love peaches. See, Christina's let me kind of take over this and put what I like here. So I love peaches. So I'm thinking in this entire middle section, we'll do peach trees. So I don't know how many, I haven't spaced it out. And then down on the bottom section, it's kind of divided into 3 sections. On the bottom down there,
It's weeds right
Yeah,
now.
it's weeds right
You
now,
can't
but
see
we'll
how
put-
big that is.
maybe plums, maybe apples. What else did we say? Maybe that's it. Plums and apples.
Yeah. We'll
What?
have to see what.
Oh,
what
pears, Asian
We do
pears.
want
We
some
might
Asian
put down there
pears.
too. So, yeah, this whole bottom part will be my fruit orchard, which I'm very excited about. So let's plant. I don't know how to do this, so you're gonna have to do it. Okay. Give me the camera.
I think it's a good time to learn.
No.
All right, you hold this.
I'll learn by watching.
And
How
I'll
about
be
that?
the teacher. All right. Well, our hole looks a little deep, and so I want to make sure that the water can never come in here and just sit right there. That's going to cause a lot of rotting around the stem. So I'm just going to add in a little bit more clay. I'm going to add in, did you hear those finger snaps? I'm going to add in a little bit more clay so it's not quite that deep. And then let's just check that depth a little bit. When we're gardening in clay soil, it does hold on to moisture really, really well. In fact, okay, I'm gonna say it again. I have grown to really love my red clay. I would not want to garden in anything else. And I know it gets a bad reputation because it can be very, very compact, but if you can change the texture of your clay soil, I'm gonna make t-shirts about falling in love with clay soil. Apparently that's my new brand. If you can change the texture of it, it is a wonderful clay to keep. I'm never gonna dig a hole and throw topsoil or potting soil in because clay is gonna hold on to minerals and nutrients and water really, really well. There's a reason that pots are made out of clay. So, but the problem is, if you sink it down too deep, then when it's wet, it stays wet for a long time. So I'm gonna plant a little bit high. Instead of planting it at ground level, Instead of planting at ground level, I'm gonna bring it up just a touch high. And I'm also gonna add a starter fertilizer to it. I already put some in the pot right here. It just has that mycorrhiza fungi that helps mycelium create a network of good root growth. That's what we're gonna do. Let me get down in here so I'm gonna crumble it up. When you dig a hole, plant your hole a little bit wider than it is deep, and that is just helping break up that compact soil. and the roots won't have such a hard time getting through the clay.
I read on the back of the thing, the little tag, it said you should break up the root ball. Should you or not? No, I mean,
Ooh, what a good question.
you know more
Let's
than
take a
me,
look
but
at it.
I'm asking it. It said to loosen it up. So should we?
Well, I think we assume that everything in a pot is root bound. What I'm seeing here is roots that are free flowing and going in every direction. A truly root bound plant will have roots that have been circling, I call it circling the drain, over and over and over again. A root bound plant, you can hardly see the soil, but there's still soil in here, and if I wanted to, I could break it apart. So these roots can still freely go in every direction. I would not consider this root bound. Normally, you're going to see root bound plants that have been sitting in a nursery for over 3 years because that's the only soil. The roots are going to keep growing no matter how much. It's not like a goldfish that just stops growing in a small tank. They're going to keep growing,
Okay.
and eventually you're going to run out of soil and it's going to be all roots. So I'm not going to disturb any of these little baby roots. What a good question.
Well, you know, I am smart like that.
You are smart.
Looks a little high. Is that? I mean,
That's
I know you.
intentional. So as the water is going to drain right here, I want to make sure that it can't possibly pool around this. And then what I'm going to do with a little bit more soil is create a berm right here where water could go around it if we've got like an overflow or like a massive rainstorm. But if it's been a while since it's rained and we haven't come out here to water, that berm of soil back here on this slope is also going to hold on to water a little bit. So you're welcome for the fantastic idea. Now, oh, you know what's neat is I'm sitting right here. Last year in this area, I had some zinnias planted and I put down pine shavings as a weed barrier. I am always going to do that. I'm going to continue to do that. Weeding is the bane of my existence, and in this area where the pine shavings were really thick, no weeds grew. Of course, wind blew some away, and over time they're going to decompose, but if I could have pine shavings everywhere, we should get a shaver. We got plenty of pine trees. We could make our own pine shavings.
We could.
Right?
I'm
Get out
telling you.
here with our pencil sharpener.
Yep. There you go. That won't take forever.
All right. Now, I'm just getting rid of some of these air pockets, these bubbles in here. It does look a little naked, but I've still got soil that I can bring around here that we got from our root ball. And now I'm just going to gently shape the berm how I want it. See what I'm doing there?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no real exposed root ball. I've kind of shaped the earth how I want it. And then we do this for every single tree. So, we're gonna water this really well. After, I think, the first year and a half, these trees should not need a lot of babysitting. I'm gonna give them a spring fertilizer and then fertilize, I think, once a month with a granular fertilizer, a slow release that's heat activated. But in the first year, we're gonna start with Biotone, and we're gonna water as much as we possibly can. These roots are brand new, baby. It is time to put on the kid gloves, so to speak. But then after that, they will be very low maintenance. So
That's good.
yeah, this has been an introduction to our new orchard. Breaking ground today with Scott was really fun. Stay tuned to see how crazy this gets. And wouldn't it be fun if we had like a big party because we had so many figs?
Oh,
that
man.
we couldn't eat them all ourselves.
That'd be
And
great.
we were like, guys, help us eat all of our figs. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Bye.